Hello, I am Jeradian Solomon Putra Miramangi, and this moment I will talking about a brief explanation on types of text. Text. Maybe you already understand what text is, or you don't really understand what that text is. All talk often heard, not many people know what the text means. Moreover, knowing and understanding the types of text. Right. According to Burgred and Dressler, text refers to a communicative event. The text is transmitted through a suitable channel or medium and will ideally have a function that fulfills the communicative purpose. The existence of action in communicative situation provides a framework. In addition, the text can only be understood and analyzed more deeply with the framework of action in communicative situation. By the way, text. How many types of text do you know? 1, 2, 10, maybe? Right. There are 19 types of text. Each of them has a different function. Do you know what the types of text are? Right, let's check it out. The number one is procedure text. Understanding procedure text is a part of the types of text in Indonesian which contains steps or ways to do or make something correctly. How to write procedure types of text? Using persuasive statement, invitation, using imperative verbs, command, use active verbs such as cooking, wrapping, and the like, using technical words related to the topic, using addition or adjacent conjunctions such as next, using tool descriptions or instructions for using tools such as object and tools, use, size, quantities, and colors. Number 2. Complex procedure text. Understanding procedure text is part of the types of text in Indonesian which have more and more complicated steps and methods than procedure text in general. How to write types of text that have complex procedures is the same as writing simple procedure text that have been described previously. Number 3. Narrative text. Narrative text is a part of the types of text in Indonesian which contain the story of an event or events in the order of time. How to write narrative text types? Tells about an event or occurrence. Stories are arranged in chronological order. Is to provide information, increase knowledge, and as entertainment. Has an aesthetic value. There's a conflict. And number 4 is explanatory text. Explanatory text is a part of the types of text in Indonesian that explain why and how something happens. This text deals with the topic of social phenomena, culture, science, and so on. How to write types of the explanatory text. Explanatory texts are usually general in nature. Explanatory text contains information. Explanatory text contains a decision on a topic. Explanatory text explain cause and effect. Explanatory text contains passive sentence. Explanatory text using systematics or sequence markers. Explanatory text usually use matter and relational verbs. And the last is the explanatory text ends by giving an impression or theoretical view on the topic. Number 5. Discourse text. Discourse text is a part of the types of text in Indonesian that contains the propositions with the one another. In discourse text, there are elements of cohesion, elements of coherence, condition, and difference in other types of discourse text. How to write discourse text of text. Topics. Topic revealing speech or story. Cohesion and coherence. Regularity. Context and context. And the last, destination. Number 6. Argument text. Argument text is a part of the types of text in Indonesian that explainable opinion based on evidence, reason, and example of a fact. The purpose of making the type of argumentative text is to influence, convince, believe, and agree with the author's thoughts. How to write argument text types. Contain an either opinion or view of the author about a phenomenon. Contains reason supported by data or fact obtained from interviews, field research, questionnaires, library research, and observation. Contains a deep description of the result of data analysis, and with a conclusion in the form of a broader opinion. Number 7. Observation text. Observational text is a part of the types of text in Indonesian that provide information and knowledge in accordance with observations of an object. How to write types of observational text. Introduction contains a general statement, purpose, and benefits. Contains in the form of observation accompanied by data and evidence. Closing in the form of conclusion. Number 8. Description text. Description text is a part of the types of text in Indonesian that describe or clearly describe an object, idea, place, or event. In descriptive text, the reader will be made as if seeing, hearing, feeling, or experiencing the object and events described. How to write descriptive text types. Describe or describe something. Topics in the form of object or object are described as clearly as possible by involving sensory imperfections such as sight, hearing, smell, and others. Make the reader or listener feel alone or experience themselves. Many found adjective in it. Number 9. History text. Historical texts are part of the types of text in Indonesian which are based on real events in the past. Language rules that must be considered include pronouns, verbs, adverbs, conjunctions, and past tense. How to write historical text types. Express the past or the years that have passed. Using pronouns to replace the name of a person or thing. Shows event times and place. Indicate a real activity or deed. Number 10. Advertising. Advertisement text is a part of the types of text in Indonesian which are made to subtly persuade audience by combining elements of image with words. Elements of motion and sound. Advertisement can be seen in print or electronic media. How to write the types of the text that add. Advertisements are made as attractive as possible by using appropriate, logical, and polite language. The choice of words in advertisement must have suggestions for the general public. Ads must contain important information. Advertising must have or address a target. Good advertising must be objective and honest. Ads must not offend other parties. Creative manufacturing concept. 11. Biography. The biographical text is part of the types of text in Indonesian which contains the journey or life history of a person written by another person. In general, biographical texts tell the life stories of successful or influential people for many people. How to write biographical types of text. The content of a biography is a fact of a person's life story. Has a standard structure covering orientations, events, and reiterations. The writing style is a method interesting with a narrative form. Biographies are inspirational to influence readers. Contains motivation for someone to imitate. There are impressions and messages from characters or someone who are written. 12. Autobiography. Autobiographical text is a part of the types of text in Indonesian that describe a journey or life history written by himself. Autobiography tells the story of a person's life from childhood to the present, or the times of failures to his current success. How to write autobiographical types of text? The title is usually the name of a character or described in a book. Character's family background, education background on the character work background, the result of the work, achievement, awards, or something that has been achieved by the figure. 13. Travel report. A travel report is a part of the types of text in Indonesian that contain an accountability report after a trip or visit to a place. Travel report texts are generally done after students make a visit to an institution. How to write the types of the text are travel reports. There are object or place visited as report material. Describe the trip according to the place, time, partner, process, activity carried out, and the amount of cost. Writing in a good and correct language. Include facts and supporting data such as pictures, present in a complete and attractive. 14. Speech text. Speech text is a part of the types of text in Indonesian whose purpose is as a direct notification in front of many people. Notification in speech can be important, urgent, and not so important. How to write types of text that are speech? Speech must have a clear purpose. A speech must contain truth. The delivery of the speech should be as clear and attractive as possible. Speech must be effective and interesting with humor. Delivery of speech using articulation, intonation, and volume that is bright and clear. 15th. Lecture text. Lecture text is a part of the types of text in Indonesian to convey information in the form of knowledge. Conveys invite listeners how to write the types of text that lecture. Introduction in the form of an opening greetings. An introduction, the content of the lecture is at the form of the core of the lecture and the ideas to be conveyed. 16th. Scientific works. Scientific works texts are part of the types of text in Indonesian that contain written report in the form of research or study result by meeting scientific principle and ethics. The method of writing the types of text that are scientific works is to include the title, introduction, theoretical framework, research, methodology, discussion, conclusion, suggestion, and bibliography. 17. Editorial or editorial text. The editorial or editorial text is a part of the types of text in Indonesian that cover both principally and thoroughly the issues that are currently being discussed. The editorial is a text that is intended to invite readers to think critically and to respond to the issues discussed. How to write editorial types of text? The editorial contains a review of problems in order of chronological order. The editorial usually contains suggestions that are considered to be a solution to the problem being reviewed. The editorial, because it is a non-fiction article, it contains that author's opinion. Editorials are published only in newspaper. The editorial is not provocative, even though that author's subjective thoughts are expressed. 18. Report text. Report text is a part of the types of text in Indonesian that describe the result of observation or research with valid or correct data. How to write types of text that report. The text of the report contains the fact, contains complete and test research result, is objective, does not contain personal opinions, informative and communicative, do not defeat, interesting, contains clear data, using scientific language. 19 is news text. News text is a part of the types of text in Indonesian that contains information, stories, or description of events or events that are currently being discussed. How to write news types of text. News must be fact. News must contain clear content. News must use words that are easy to understand. News must be current event, recently happened. News must be balanced, impartial. News must be complete, containing all news elements. 5W and 1H. News must be interesting and useful. News must be arranged systematically. That's it. That's all for me. Good luck. Thank you.